Hello there, it's Gail here from Ornamentology, and I thought I would talk to you about some of the journals that I've been making. This is a slightly different format journal, and it's a soft cover, and it's got a piece of red elastic that holds it all together. It's sort of almost like a travelling notebook, I think it's called in journaling circles. I haven't quite got the new language down. But I've reinforced the edges with this tape. I've sewn it and reinforced it, so it's kind of a bit belt and braces. But these images on this book are amazing. It was, again, a charity shop find, but look at them. They're luscious. They're absolutely luscious. So there's information about the plants as well. Plenty of writing paper in this and information. Oh, I've got a Latin book, so I've kind of put some Latin in because I didn't have a classical education, so I don't know anything much about Latin, to be fair. Some more information here, more planting stuff, and more writing paper for you. I've just folded it. This is marigold dyed, I think. I've decided, I have an allotment, and I've decided that this year I'm going to try and grow more marigolds, some red cabbage. I don't know how that's going to go because we are plagued with caterpillars, and some alkanet, and see if I can get some blue dye. I've got some yarrow already, and there's various other plants in there that will be useful. So I'm going to try and grow my own dyes. That'll be interesting. I don't know how that's going to go, but, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Again, more of my own tea dye paper. This is a book I found. It's just a little excerpt from the book, Stories for Girls, a bit about Jane Eyre. Again, more tea dyed paper. This is an illustrated book of birds, which I think is just, the images are so beautiful. These are just images of falcons, but they're just beautiful images, to be honest. I mean, you can take these images out and cut them out and stick them on other pages if you feel like it. I mean, look at this. Absolutely beautiful. And, oh, my word. Let me see if I can swish this up a bit so you can see it. It's absolutely tremendous. The illustrations are just gorgeous on this book. And the paper feels nice too, because it's all about the texture, I think, with these books. My first foray into avocado dyeing. I put it in the oven to dry it and it's come out really pink. A bit more French this time, I think. I've obviously found a few language books and thought I'd throw those in. Marigold. This is just a beautiful, I mean, look at it. It's gorgeous, this book. It's another one of those things that you get in the charity shop that's just going to go to pulping if you don't use it, and it seems like such a shame to me. So here's another bit of my own creation, and I've sprayed it with some mica, it's copper mica. A poem from Samuel Taylor Coleridge, To Nature, Who Has Been Long in City Pent by John Keats, and The Glory by Edward Thomas. They're just some poems in a poetry book that I found that just kind of finished it off, really, I think. Look at these gorgeous images. They're just the business. I kind of can't take any credit for much of this, really, other than dyeing the paper. The kind of work speaks, the books speak for themselves, but I mean, wow, it's just, they're just so lovely. I mean, goodness me, look, they're just gorgeous. This is a little pocket, which actually I haven't put anything in, so you could be able to find something glorious for yourself to put in there. You could put a seed packet in, maybe, if you had one. A little drawing about woodpeckers, and this is oh, it doesn't tell you. That's great, isn't it? It's a Watkins warbler, it says, I think, if I can read the cursive handwriting. And how beautiful. It's just beautiful. As you can tell, I'm no ornithologist. A bit more about Jane Eyre here. They're just excerpts, so don't think that you're going to get the whole story, because that would be a bit tedious, wasn't it? Again, another little place for you to put your finds. This is a place where you fill, this is a book where you fill the pockets, because I think sometimes it's easy for the person who makes the journal to overtake it and put their own inference on it and their own spin on it. But sometimes it's quite nice to receive a journal that's got bits in that you can add to yourself. So there's plenty of writing space here. And then at the back, this is another wonderful thing about this gorgeous plants and more words. And then this opens up. And there's a little pocket here. I've made a little envelope. I found this lady on the internet that showed us how to make this envelope out of a square of paper. So I've made one. And then I decided I needed to close it. So I've made a hole punch of this beautiful dark blue because I thought it chimed really nicely and just boosted these colours well. So you can put your little knickknacks and noonahs in there. So there's a big envelope here that goes all the way across the page. Let me just tuck that in. And then there's 2 little pockets here that you can put things in. That folds over, and then we're to the end of the book. Now, because this isn't got 1,001 enclosures and 10 tons of hardback difficulty, it's one of my more economical to afford books. It's 3-stitch pamphlet stitched with red thread, because that seemed to be the thing to do. This is called Flowers Journal, and it's just £20 because it's soft. I think what's in here is the innards of a bit of Amazon paper, I think. So the size, it is 6.5 inches across and 10 inches tall, which in new money is 16.5 centimetres wide by 25 centimetres tall, and it's ready to go. Some of it's stitched, as you can see, and some of it I've just, the front cover, I've put this washi tape over. I just quite liked it. It sort of picked up with the, I think the sort of the green, it just fires it up nicely. So there it is, it's ready for you. I'm sure I can plop this in a little bag. I sent a journal to one of my ladies that made an inquiry, and I decided what I would do is I would decorate the container that the book arrives to you in. So if you order a journal through the post, it will come in recycled packaging, but I'll decorate it. I'll stick some things on it and make it interesting, and then I'll put some extra little things in so that when you get it home, if you want to keep the journal in it, you can cover the postage label with the little extra things that I send you. You can just glue them on the front with a glue stick, and then you'll be able to have a book and a cover. So here it is, the Flowers Journal, £20. Let me know if you'd like it. I can send it to you. I've now sent a journal to America. I'm very excited about that, I must say. And it's arrived safely, which is even better. And the lady who purchased it was chuffed to bits. And I'm equally chuffed to bits in my own way over here. Because you never know. I make things that are manifesting in my head and put them out in the world. And it's still an absolute thrill. It's always a thrill when people buy it with their hard-earned money. Also, you may have noticed I've got a new backdrop here. I'm just going to put the book to one side so I can show you my glorious backdrop. I was watching another lady on YouTube, and she was doing something and about making stuff, and she had a backdrop, and I thought, do you know what, that's got to be better than a boring old piece of paper. So recently on Facebook Marketplace, this young couple were selling a whole heap of books that they'd used, tied together in bundles, that they'd used as wedding day decorations for their wedding. And they're quite old, and some of the paper's quite brittle. So as you can see here, some of it's really quite old, this paper. So I thought I'll glue it onto a bit of hardboard, and because the paper's old, it's not shiny, so it doesn't reflect the light up. And you know, with my amateur skills at doing all of this filming, I need all the help I can get, really. So there we are. So far so good. I've also done a bit of gratuitous advertising. The actual website's going to have a bit of a tickle. My dear son does it because I'm a bit inept sometimes. He does it because some of the links aren't working so good. So I'm awfully sorry if you've gone there and you've got waylaid or the link isn't there. But if you put ornamentology in all the places, it usually comes up somewhere. Ornamentology, Gail Young, it'll get you there. Please excuse the state of my nails. I have been gardening. It is that time of year. And so I've had what I refer to as a muck manicure. Anyway, I hope that's okay. And we'll get on with the next one. Take care now. Thank you for your time.